ready?
Yes.
We good?
Carry on, Jo.
Okay. So today we want to share our financial position, our hopes and dreams of you, the family. I know that makes it sound like the mafia, doesn't it? So we're the family. We're the, you know, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
That's true.
It is true.
It is true, yeah.
It is very true. We are the family, so don't mess out there. Okay. So first up, I really want to acknowledge the goodness of God in his provision to us, you know, the family members. We are looked after here. We have food on our tables. We have this wonderful building. Okay, it might be a bit ragged around the edges, but it's a great building, isn't it? It's a great space, and we've got each other. We're a family. We've got each other, like Jamie was saying. You know, we have got brothers and sisters, so we're really grateful for his provision. And I know we might struggle to make ends meet at times, and I know, like, financially it can get a bit terrifying. I don't know about you, but my finances can be terrifying at times. But look at what we have, okay? We're still grateful for that, for God's provision, and we're really thankful here as a church for the family members' obedience and faith and generosity to each other and to the church. Okay, so the plan is going to briefly show you the story of the last few years, what's happened since COVID, where that puts us now, and what our hopes and plans are for the future. Okay, so Michelle, if you could do the next slide. So this is the story of our income. Oh, and you can just about see that on the left, on all the different things, right? Okay, so you can see, so current year working backwards, that from COVID lockdown and coming back from, you know, all the restrictions, that top line, our gift-aided donations as well as the non-gift-aided donations, well, the gift-aided donations have gone down, and that's what we really rely on for our finances. Okay, and that's been, obviously, for a couple of reasons, but I mean, it's had a huge impact on us as a family here. So this last financial year has gone down significantly as well, and the reason for that is that we've had quite a few families that significantly contributed move away. And also, you can see, where is the living fire? Oh, right at the bottom. So we, at one point, it was straddled, so our financial year goes from the 1st of September to the 31st of August. But we had, straddling over 3 years, a grant from Living Fire, which was really, really helpful. That stopped as well, so there's a number of things. Thankfully, we received 3 significant one-off gifts, and these are really great in, like, boosting our finances, but it makes planning a little bit unpredictable. So the lines we need our confidence in, really, is this top line, that very top line in, like, monthly regular givers, and then we can plan a bit more. We were also able to rent out our building for a bit, although one source of that, it was no more. But we're always looking for something that will work well and not interfere with our plans, so that's one thing that we're looking out for. So the second line, non-gift aided donations, really grateful that that's gone up, but that means we can't claim the gift aid back on those, and that's mainly due to, we've got some, like, limited company businesses that give to the church, and we're not able to make a claim on that. Also, to say at this point, if you are a taxpayer and you give anonymously, like via in the cash envelopes or on that card machine over there, with no name, we can't claim the gift aid. The gift aid is 25% on top of what you give, and it makes a huge, huge difference. So if that is you, you know, please come and have a chat with me, and we'll work out how we can kind of make sure that we can claim what the government is allowing us to claim for. Okay, thank you. So let's go to the next slide. Oh, okay, that's just what it looks like, just like, okay, let's just go to the next one, thank you. Okay, so this is income versus expenses, so I'm just going to whistle stop through that, okay? So staffing costs, obviously our biggest biggest expense. The donations and gifts, we used to give a lot more, but we've had to kind of, like, pinch back on that as well. So as a church, we do try and be generous and give out to other ministries. The next line, the ministries, £3,012. Okay, so essentially that's kids' work, hospitality, events that we put on, Coffee Junction, etc. Okay, which is not a lot. Admin, so that covers things like IT, the phone, the internet, website, stationery, all that sort of stuff. Leadership expenses includes training and development, such as, when we had that Eastgate team come here, it still costs money, we need resources. Teaching and learning resources for the church. Now the building, that is rather large, as you would expect. So that includes things like our insurances, the rubbish collection that we have to pay for, gas, electric, water, cleaning, maintenance, repairs, certification that we need for the boilers, the alarms, the electrics, fire safety, etc. General costs, that includes our licences. Now, I don't even know if you knew this, but when we put the songs up on the projector, we have to keep a record of that, and we have to pay copyright licence for that. And that's quite a big bill every year. Our independent review, we're a charity, so we need to be it's like having our finances inspected and sent off, and that we're all okay. That we need to pay for that, and it covers our teas and coffees and cakes and things like that we have. The last one, the finance costs, about 16k. That's 2 loans that we took out a number of years back to build the upstairs and to have the kitchen built. Okay, we're close to the end of those, but it's has a significant effect on our finances. So bottom line, we're just under £2,000, made a loss, right? So it doesn't look bad, and we've only had to use some of our reserves to cover that deficit. So it doesn't look bad, but that's not the case. Okay, so we've been living on a shoestring essentially. So we've reduced our spending to the bare minimum that we can have, and as you can see, the staffing costs are our biggest outlay. So staffing costs are usually the biggest outlay of a church, but this is even more the case because we have had to reduce our spending in every area that we can. So we've not been able to give budgets to the various sectors of the church so that they've got things to spend on, plan for like kids and outreach and whatnot, because we've had to operate on only what is minimally necessary. Okay, we've not been able to carry out some of the improvements on the building. We've not been able to fund any new projects. And most significantly, to make ends meet, Jamie and Michelle have taken a 20% and 33% pay cut. And they're still working the same hours for us and not getting paid for it. So, that said, due to a significant one-off gift that we had during the year, and the building hire for 3 months that we had, we were able to pay Jamie back for the last tax year just gone. So we got paid for 5 days, but it's back on 4 days a week. So Jamie and Michelle for this year are still on reduced pay. They've also not received any inflation pay increase since 2021, and their salaries do not reflect like what the going rate should be for church leaders. Okay, so can you go to the next one, please? All right, just a bit of colour. Yeah, you can go past that. Right, so what we did, we serve a God of plenty, right? And he is generous and he is not limited in any way. So we asked the teams responsible for, oh sorry Michelle, your thing is fallen down. And we asked the team responsible for the different sectors in the church, like so for children's ministry, for outreach and Coffee Junction and all of that sort of stuff, to come up with a dream budget, okay? So this is what we're asking God for, to enable us to better serve each other and to serve the community, and ultimately to bring honour to God, growing in our faith and making his name known. And on top of this as well, we really want to restore Jamie and Michelle's salaries. So it's just under 11k, which over for a year, a church of this size, is not dramatic by any means. Okay, it's I think that's a reasonable thing. I think they were very conservative when they put their dream budgets in. I was expecting it to be higher, but anyway. Okay. So can you just go to the next slide, please, so I can remind myself what it is? Okay, you can go back. That's fine. No, you can stay there actually. Okay, so we're quite a long way off from where we would like to be. So we've broken it down into stages so we can see what we can do at each stage. Okay, so we have the two loans that I spoke about. One ends in November and one ends in March, April. So this has been factored into the projections, and plus all the reducing our expenses down and down and down to live on a shoestring. It doesn't factor in the shortfall that needs to be paid back in salaries or any increase from the dream budget. Okay, so if nothing changes this year, if our giving remains the same as it is, because of those loans that are finishing, we've got just over 4k to add back, to pay Jamie and Michelle back a bit, and to give a little bit to the various sectors in the church to have a little bit more money to spend. Okay, if we can increase our giving by 3%, then we've got 7,000, and you can just see that as that goes along. Obviously, our dream would be to have like a 10% increase, but you know, we need stepping stones along the way. So while we're really super grateful for what we have and how God has sustained us and how we've managed to make ends meet at sacrifice, we need to be proactive as a church to help improve things, and we need to be committing this to God and just asking him. You know, if we don't ask, we don't get. You know, like prayerfully, let's pray over our church finances so that we can be more, do more, be more extravagant in our generosity and you know, do more to outreach. So, as Jamie said, God invites us to participate in prayer and in practical ways as well, to be part of seeing his kingdom grow and to see on earth as it is in heaven. So can I just, in closing, no pressure, and you know, it's like we are free to do whatever, but can I ask you to prayerfully consider if you can give a little bit more, or if you don't currently give, perhaps if you can make a start or just make a contribution, you know, so that we are steps along to achieving this, and just and giving a budget out to children's ministry and to the other various sectors. That's it. Hope you're not asleep.